Sviatoslav Yurash represents the Servant of the People Party in Ukraine's parliament, and he joins me now live. He's the youngest parliamentarian in Kyiv. You've taken up arms. To defend your city. You're live in Kyiv right now. Talk to us about your state of mind right now as you have this long column of Russian armored vehicles just outside the capital.
Well, we are preparing everything we have for defense of Kyiv. Basically, the point is that it's a city of millions, and it would take far more than a long column to destroy everybody here that armed themselves and brought themselves to the readiness level to try and face the Russian columns or whatever sort. I mean, this column can be 40 kilometers long, but we have a nation of 40 million people, so it would take far more than that to subdue us. As far as Kyiv itself, I mean, the battles were happening in the outskirts in the recent days to not allow Russians to block our supply routes from the west and from the south. And we have basically made quite good progress there. We've taken back some of the towns they captured before, and we basically relinked the whole supply route to the west.
How worried are you that what the Russians are doing in Kharkiv and in other cities and towns in the south, they will replicate on the capital? That has to be in the back of your mind. The airstrikes and the artillery shelling in the center, not just on the outskirts.
Russians have done plenty around the world, and when I look at Syria, for example, they have done there. Sorry.
Sadly, oh no,
hello.
You're back.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
When I look at what they've done in Syria and what they've done there with cities there, I see plenty that Russians can do to our cities. But I hope the world will wake up to our call for the clear skies over Ukraine and essentially disallowing Russians to use air power as they wish in terms of destroying cities, killing our children, killing our people, and showing the world their true face. And unfortunately, before the world gets that sacrifice seems to be needing to be made, because no matter how many times we repeat that this is a humanitarian measure that would stop the indiscriminate killing, the world still doesn't want to apply no-fly zone over Ukraine.
Of course, the West is saying they won't apply a no-fly zone because it would mean having potentially to shoot down Russian planes, and that would, with a nuclear power, potentially cause a much bigger conflagration and conflict that would engulf many more countries. That is their argument for not wanting to impose a no-fly zone. But I've got to ask you on a personal level, how you weren't expecting this just 2 weeks ago, yes? You're a politician, grabbing an AK-47 or an assault rifle or whatever. How does it feel to have to do this to defend your homeland right now? What goes through how is it on an emotional level, I wonder?
Well, when I look at Ukraine's history, I see a very difficult history path for my nation, for my country. My great-grandfather went through Stalingrad and went on to liberate Europe from Nazis. My great-grandmother has lived through genocide by hunger, Holodomor. They survived through much worse. And if our nation survives through Stalin, it can survive through this. The point is, it is our generation's task right now to safeguard what they conquered. So we are not going to throw it away to allow Putin's whims to rule the day. Again, it is our job, it is our task with everything we have. And believe me, I'm no soldier. My fighting skills here are rudimentary, and they are getting better, sure, but they are far from the level in which I can truly compete with any of the trained soldiers around me. But the point here is to try and put everything we have on the table, because we need our nation. We need it to be independent, to be sovereign, to be truly able to define its own destiny.
Yeah. And I imagine, I mean, like everyone else, you have family, you worry about their safety. They worry about your safety as well. How do you navigate this? That's another aspect of it too. Yeah.
The reality is that my family, you've covered today that city with the nuclear power stations. That in that city, a part of my family lives, and I was calling to them today to ask the situation. They were there yesterday when the denizens of the city went out just with Ukrainian flags and no arms to try and pushed the Russian forces away, and today they are fighting a pitched battle with the Russians shelling the living quarters, shelling a town which has nuclear power stations, again threatening Europe with nuclear accident that is waiting to be made. The fact of the matter is Russians are not really looking at the reality of the situation, and it is essentially bringing us down to the point where the whole Europe is threatened by their attitude to war here.
I've got to ask you one last question that I ask really anyone who's in your position wanting to defend Ukraine against invaders. What more do you want? What's your message to those Western countries that say they're coming to your aid with weapons, they're sanctioning regime officials and oligarchs? What more do you need?
First, Russia has broken every single rule that is in the international community in general. Every notion of international law has been broken here in Ukraine. And again, it's not as if it is the first time. Russia has done it time and time again all over the world. The point here is Russia does not deserve a place in any of the international conferences, institutions that exist. And Russia needs to be thrown out of all of them. And I very much welcome steps being made in that direction. Second is anything in terms of support for us is needed, is welcome, and should be built up on. The reality is that basically for Ukraine, nothing is enough when fighting world's second biggest army. And we very much appreciate everything you say, do, send. That is what we need right now. When our cities are being sieged, our people are getting killed, and our ability to fight war depends on the world caring enough about our plight.